Phillip Dukes here, the five-star flex, and I just want to take a minute and I want to give a shout out to the Tennessee Volunteers. You may remember months ago I came out and I said they have very scary potential. Well, that's the title of this one, Scary Potential. And it just got scarier. Not just because of what they're doing on the field right now, but what it means to recruiting. Man, Tennessee is on the heater. And it's not just in the class of 25, it's 26. They got high level 27s interested. And now you're not just beating the Kentuckys of the world. No disrespect to Kentucky, but now you're beating Georgia, you're beating Bama for kids, and you're going to continue to because now you're recruiting on a national level, and you just did something on a national stage. You beat Bama in front of everybody. Bama had all of the momentum in the world. I mean, it looked so scary after Bama beat Georgia. Then some of the luster of that win, they lost it when they lost to Vandy. And so this was a game that Alabama and Tennessee both needed to kind of take that next step when it comes to recruiting. Well, it would have kept Alabama kind of status quo and maybe pushing for that first class. And I don't think that it took them out of there. But what I do think is that loss to Tennessee catapulted Tennessee, the atmosphere. When you look at the excitement that was going on in the stadium, Neyland was rocking. It might have been 120,000. Who knows? It sounded like 150. The way they played, you play gritty defense. You keep your team in the game when your quarterback gets injured. You figure out a way to run the ball. Like, these are things that look good to recruits. Linebackers flying around. Well, guess what? You got linebackers in attendance that are looking and saying, man, that could be me one day. So now Tennessee, who has already established that they will come second to none when it comes to NIL, they're going to put that money in the right places. See, now you're not overpaying because Tennessee isn't where they used to be. You don't have to overpay. You say we're not going to be beaten. We're going to out-recruit people. We're going to, hey, whatever it is, NIL-wise, that's fine. But we're going to recruit you because this is somewhere that you want to be. When I talked about the national impact that this has, let's just look at some of the guys in attendance. Former Bama commit and current Tennessee commit, Jaden Harmon out of Rome, Georgia. Lagonza Heyward, who just took a visit to Georgia not too long ago, and we'll talk about that in a few. Georgia. Desan Bram, tight end. Everybody in the world's after him. Kansas. Jack Van Dorselaar, Texas. David Sanders, North Carolina. Brandon Anderson, who committed, 26. I'm going to get to him in a minute. Georgia. Isaiah Campbell, the biggest fish out there, North Carolina. Darion Smith, St. Francis, Maryland. Tennessee is going everywhere. They started it with Nico, and that wasn't just the beginning, but he was that first big fish in the NIL era. But Tennessee being able to take that T across the country, I'm going to say it, I'm going to say it again. It rings bells. People realize that Tennessee is no longer the program that almost did it. You're talking about a perennial playoff team if they keep this up. And the way that they recruit. So now go look at so you already got your trigger man now. You got a quarterback in George McIntyre, right? In the 25. 26, you got the guy, Faison. Now you got 27 guys that are looking at Tennessee. Now you're looking at the number one athlete or the number one player in the class, Zion Ely. He's looking at Tennessee. It's early for him. I love the fact that you get a guy like Brandon Anderson, right? Out of Atlanta. Play with the North Atlanta Giants, the program that my man Brandon Jacobs from the New York Giants, his little league program, his son played with him. But look at everybody else: Dylan Lewis, Tyler Redmond, Justin Baker, Eden Utley. Like you're creating a state in Atlanta. So you got the pipeline from Atlanta, you got North Georgia, Austin Howard. Where is he from? Mississippi State commit. Who I'm favoring Tennessee right now. Memphis. So and you have that pipeline in North Carolina who always puts out these hell of a players, highly ranked players. So now when you're looking at what you're getting out of North Carolina, you've got the SEC pipeline for the powerhouse school. South Carolina ain't there yet. You got Tennessee sitting right here, like, yeah, right for the picking. So going into the rest of the season, you have a huge Georgia game, a game that Tennessee could even lose that game and still make the playoffs. Like, they would be the perfect two-loss SEC team. And not to say that they'll lose it, because that game looks even as hell to me. I would be scared to bet on that game. So when we talk about potential, what Tennessee is doing recruiting, plus what they're doing on the field, man, it's Halloween season. Scary hours in Knoxville. I'm here with 4-star explosive safety and Tennessee commit Lagonza Heyward on the 5-star flicks. Fresh off a visit to Tennessee to watch the Vols beat Alabama. What was the environment like?
I ain't gonna lie, I don't even know how to describe it for real. Cause like, you just had to be there.
Right.
Like it was so turned and live. Like the Florida game was live, but like
Right.
that Alabama game was live. Like us seeing like the fans screaming the whole time, like we down, fans still turned, we still in the stands screaming. And
Right.
then for us to win, ball rush the field,
Right.
and like snatch the goal. I see, like I'm going to the locker room. Only thing I hear is like a loud crack sound. I look the goalpost sideways, so I'm
Man,
like, oh my! Then in the locker room, it was
smoke
just
me
an
if you got
experience
them.
you had to like be there for. Like you can't even describe it for real. That's
When
a
you think
real
about,
moment.
yeah, for sure. When you think about what they're doing on defense right now and that explosive offense that Alabama had, how do you see yourself fitting in with the Volunteers on defense?
I feel like I fit in like a glove for real, cause like
Right.
seeing that game and knowing they playing Alabama and the defense kept the defense kept us in the game. And
Right.
like it's just know it's gonna be a movie.
Right. No, for sure. Who did you talk to the most on the staff when you went on your visit?
Can't really say because like I was really around everybody.
Right. Right. Hey, as far as the recruits, what was the vibe like? So there were a lot of guys. I mean, a ton of recruits there. Did you guys get to kick it a little bit, or was it just everybody focused on the game?
I was kicking it with the commits. I ain't really know the
Right.
recruits that was there.
Right.
I talked to a couple of them here and there, but like only recruits I really talked to was the ones that Coach Banks was like, "Hey, get them on board." Like, cause I don't
Okay.
really like. I'm in the middle of the season. I can't sit down and like see who all we offered and like
Mm,
positions we need in the 26 class and like so like Coach Banks was like pointing them out, telling me who we had to get on board.
right. Right. Is there any one name that you could tell us that you talked to that Coach Banks was like, he's one, we need to get him?
Uh, it's a linebacker. Wait, no. It's that I think he an edge from North Carolina. He just decommitted from Clemson. He was
Oh,
on the
Isaiah
OV
Campbell.
there. Yeah, he was on the OV there. Him.
Right.
And I was talking to him, like saying where his head was at in the whole process and stuff like that.
Now, it's good to be a peer recruiter because you can sell it in a way that a coach can't. Now, while we're
Yeah.
talking about recruiting, you also took a visit to a school recently. Now, I know Tennessee is your school. I hear you saying us and we. All right, but you snuck up to Georgia for a game just to check it out. How was that experience when you went to Athens last?
It was cool.
Right.
Like it was cool being around like them because I never seen the Georgia game, so I
Okay.
went to like so I wouldn't be the type to be like, oh, I wish I would have did this, I wish I would have done that, and
Right.
like regret that I didn't go. So I went, but
Right.
like the atmosphere wasn't that compared to Neely Stadium, but it was
Right.
like it was a cool vibe.
Right. For sure. So is that probably the school that's still contacting you the most outside of Tennessee?
Oh yeah, they still contact me, but like it's kind of like, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. No,
how
I feel
Future
you.
said in that new song, yeah.
Utowski. Yeah, no, I get it because when you're such a highly rated player, you got schools that just not gonna stop, and to have Georgia still coming after you says a lot. But on a scale of 1 to 10, I like to do this. How committed are you to Tennessee?
10.
10. 10 commits.
Easily.
What are you looking forward to the most next year?
Really, like the process of like learning how college go and like time managing and like you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I don't really know how to explain
being a real student athlete in a college setting, like how your
Yeah,
schedule goes, like waking up
yeah,
in the morning, weightlifting, development, then going to the field, picking up the defense, right? Now that's a
yeah.
lot. No, for sure. Now, and I'm glad as just for somebody who's a fan of yours as a person, not just a ball player. I'm glad you're thinking in that mode, right? Because a lot of times when people think about going to the next level, they just think about, I can't wait to get on the field. But you're thinking about the process to get on the field. And I think that says a lot about you as a person. So look, are you planning on taking any more visits?
Nah.
It's over with. If you go to another game, it's gonna be Tennessee.
Yeah.
For sure. My man Lagonza Heyward, man, the Vols are super lucky to have you. Where can everybody find you on social media?
Shady_Rocky 10X on everything.
For sure. All right, man. See you soon, Shady.
All right,
All right, bet.